Good afternoon. Today we are going to begin preparing a cocktail from the Mary family, which is not very well known. It's a Mary. Instead of a Bloody Mary with vodka, we'll make it with sherry. It's called Sherry Mary. As always, we'll prepare our glass with we'll prepare a 10-ounce low glass with ice and water. We could also serve it in a larger 16-ounce glass with ice, but right now we'll start chilling our glass. It is extremely important that all the ingredients are kept very cold.
And it's tasty. I recommend it as an appetizer.
Because if we let the ice melts, the tomato will get watery, so it won't have body. Now we'll explain tricks to give the tomato more body. We are cooling the glass a little bit. We can keep it in the fridge. We are going to take the Boston shaker. We are going to take the glass part of the Boston shaker. Though we could mix it right in the glass, serving is easier. I have taken the bottom glass of the Boston shaker. We could do it in the mixing tin, but since it has tomato, the mixing tin will get very stained and it will be difficult to clean. So, it is easier to clean on the metal. We take an ice cube that is already set, meaning an ice cube we took from the machine. We put it in the freezer so that it becomes essentially refrozen. This ice will contribute almost no water. And since the ingredients are cold, it won't dilute the drink. Add ice and serve. Sherry. Which sherry to use? There are several types. We have the manzanilla or the fino manzanilla. We have fino, we have amontillado. We have palo cortado, olorosos, and sweet cherries. Manzanilla is too light for this cocktail and has a salty note that would not complement the drink well at all. Therefore, we must eliminate that option. The sweet cherries, as another example, are also unsuitable for our use. Be it a cream or any sweet cherry, a Pedro Jimenez, we cannot use it. The olorosos have too strong a flavor, and there are sweet and dry ones. The dry ones wouldn't work well either because of their flavor, like walnut peel. It wouldn't suit us. We'd be left with fino and amontillado. We'll skip the palo cortado because it's a very rare wine to find and it doesn't always deliver the quality it should. A palo cortado is a blend, a wine between Montilla and Oloroso. It's very rare. For the morning, I suggest having it with fino as an aperitif. Later in the day, or perhaps when you are having your evening meal, a Montilla can be used. Here I chose perhaps the most international Spanish fino, Tío Pepe. Any fino wine works. It's not a brand image, simply. Since I'm seen a lot in America, I picked an easy-to-find wine there. Okay, let's start. We have a 10-ounce glass. We will pour with 1 ice cube. Then we are going to add approximately 1.5 ounces of sherry. That looks good. Now for the tomato, about 4 ounces. Add more sherry if you want it stronger. We will now add roughly 3 to 4 ounces of tomato juice into the mixture. That should be good. Next up is seasoning the cocktail, which is what will impart that specific taste, flavor, and unique quality. Naturally, we must include salt. We can use regular salt, like common salt. Here's a spoon measuring 1 gram. It's pink. I measured and weighed it. It's 1 gram. But I recommend to utilize Himalayan pink salt. Why that one? Because besides being sodium chloride, it also has potassium chloride and isn't as salty. Because the fino already has some saltiness. So we are going to give it a few taps. We can use a measuring spoon or a dropper, but we are going to do it with as you can see, it is a pink Himalayan salt. I am going to add that, approximately 0.5 gram. You can add up to 1 gram. This teaspoon is 1 gram of salt. Okay, so you can see. Well, now we begin with the Worcestershire sauce. If you notice, it's like a Bloody Mary. We give it 4 or 5 taps with the Worcestershire sauce. Tabasco, 1 drop for mild, 2 for normal, 3 for strong. Let's add a couple of Tabasco drops. The next ingredient is the pepper. We will add a small tap of black pepper. A touch of Angostura bitters, but just 1 single drop right there. This will change the flavor. Now, do you know lemon juice is added to the meringue base in order to Remove the taste of the can, let's say, of the tomato juice. Well, but here we are not interested in adding much lemon juice. We are going to add 2 or 3 little drops. And we'll add a few drops of orange juice, about double the amount of lemon. That's it. The next ingredient, celery salt, but we'll sprinkle this over the cocktail for flavor. And now, the great trick. That is great so that the tomato has body, which is a drop of European oil. That is virgin olive oil. We added like 5 drops of olive oil. This is going to make the tomato have a certain body. Denser, very pleasant in the mouth. Okay, I think we've used it all. See, many ingredients, but they are small drops. We stir in the shaker tin. You don't have to stir much. Pour in the ice. We can serve this with or without ice. We will serve it without ice at this moment, as a starter. We place it right here. We could utilize the ice already present, but let's opt for a fresh ice cube instead. We said we don't want it. Look how much it's watered down, even explaining. We add an ice cube and we would have exactly the 10 ounces. Decoration. Important. We will sprinkle some celery salt on top. Some celery salt, so that it has flavor. There. A piece of celery. You can pick the celery stalk, or you can pick it with the branch. I like the branch better, as it looks more attractive. We add our celery stick. And a skewer. A skewer that we can place. A cherry tomato, plus a couple of olives. Or a pearl onion and a slice of orange or a slice of cucumber. We can add cucumber as well. With this, we could use a straw if desired, or drink it straight away. We would have the Cherry Mary, a cocktail from the Mary family that is not widely recognized.